All right. My name's Alex, and this is the Trust Gap. And every day, donors wonder about donating, and they hesitate. And that tiny pause, it's not indifference, it's doubt. And the Trust Gap is explaining the problem on why trust in charitable giving is broken and why it keeps breaking. Okay, let's keep going here. So here's the problem. Donors want to give, but they don't trust where their money's going. And without trust, billions in charitable dollars sit idle. Communities that desperately need that support never see it. And it's not because people don't care, it's because they don't know what to believe. So let's talk scale. Donors give billions of dollars annually in Canada alone, over 12 billion to be exact. But over $7 billion is lost every year due to fraud, mismanagement, or poor reporting. That is over 50%. And 81% of donors say they don't fully trust nonprofits. And even worse, half of donors don't even know if their gift made a difference. And if they don't know, how are they going to give again? We've created a world where giving is like a pitch competition. Charities line up like startups, donors act like judges. The flashiest pitch wins, and they get funded. And that's the trust gap in simple terms. But some context, my girlfriend's family have experienced this. When they were told about a really cool opportunity about adopting their son, they spent $10,000. And when they found out later, after the adoption, that over $400,000 of the charity's money was spent on horse saddles and kitchen renovations, they haven't donated since. But what about organizations you know? Mothers Against Drunk Driving spends millions of dollars of their own donations on fundraising costs. And to be honest, that number has increased by 6% since 2022, and that's alarming. They're spending more money on fundraising and storytelling or trying to run ads than actually stopping drunk driving with ride programs. But why does it keep persisting? Well, it's not one thing, it's systemic. Laws are outdated. Tech exists, but it's not adopted. Donors expect real-time visibility, especially new donors and younger donors. But small nonprofits can't afford the tools to meet that demand. And our regulations just don't enforce transparency. It's a perfect storm. But this isn't new. After 9/11, nonprofits faced increased scrutiny. In 2010, the Red Cross raised billions of dollars for the Haiti earthquake. But then when the Panama Papers revealed abuse of charity status, nothing had changed. And then when when billions was donated, no one asked where did it all go. And then when blockchain came on the scene, it yet to reach people that needed it the most. So when something like USAID happened this year, people were outraged. Charities that were completely funded by USAID were cut off, and it caused real issues on transparency and trust. But let's look at some of the failures. I mentioned the Red Cross. Did you know the Red Cross used a whole bunch of tools like Razor's Edge Next to raise $500 million for Haiti, but only 6 permanent houses were actually built. Why? Because of the cost of running their system, poor auditing, misleading communications. The donors were told their money was being used to help rebuild Haiti, but they couldn't see how. And when they never saw the truth until it was too late. But what about Facebook? A social media could do that. Well, Facebook did that. They built Facebook Giving, millions used it. Nonprofits never received any donor information. They couldn't follow up, and they couldn't build relationships on a social media platform. And then eventually, Facebook removed the feature entirely, and trust in digital giving took another hit. Well, across all these cases, the failure wasn't just technical, they were trust failures. There was no transparency, no connection, poor communication, poor design. These are real reasons why donors walked away or charities couldn't adopt them. And we've studied the root causes, not to pitch a solution, but to understand where things went wrong. And what did past efforts miss? Well, it's simple. They assumed trust instead of earning it. They excluded small organizations. They built systems that worked for fundraising, not for donors. And the fact is that if they did build something, then they would have unlocked more donors that would donate again and billions of dollars more in donations for those real impact causes. But when there's no shortage of good intent, how can there be good impact if there's not transparency, connection, or emotional clarity? Good intent dies at the point of hesitation. So we grounded our research in a dozen investigations into audits, trust studies, research papers, articles, and that gave us all of this information. So just to summarize, if you want generosity to grow, you need to fix the trust gap. Thank you.